Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Oyinkosola and today we'll be diving into a very important topic. We'll be talking about financial planning. Whether you're just starting your journey to financial freedom or you're just looking to fine-tune your strategy, either ways, this video is for you. So stay glued till the end. Now let's talk about financial planning. When we're talking about financial planning, the first thing that should come to your mind is that you need to set goals. You need to set financial goals. That's the first step. And don't forget the usual saying that your goals needs to be smart. We're going to be employing the SMART framework to your financial goals. So the question is, what is a SMART goal? Now, a SMART goal is specific. You need to have a financial plan that is very specific. So when we are talking about a specific goal, we are saying that I want to move from point A to point B. That's very specific. So the second thing is your goal should be measurable. That is, it should be quantifiable. Then the next is your goal should be achievable. Yes, achievable. Yeah, we understand that you want to buy the next Ferrari, you want to buy, but your goal should be achievable. Next up, which is like mostly related, your goal should be realistic as well. Very realistic. You know what you are earning, and when you juxtapose this, for example, to your own financial goal of getting the latest Ferrari in town, you might need to actually adjust that your financial goal. So yes, your goal should be realistic as well. Not just specific, not just measurable, but it needs to be achievable and realistic. And finally, there should be a timeline to your financial goals. It should be time bound. There should be a timeline, because anything that you don't set a given specific time to, you actually don't intend to achieve it. An example of a SMART financial goal is, I want to save and invest towards buying a MacBook on the 30th of July 2024. That is a specific goal. The goal is you want to get a MacBook. Then it is measurable, right? There's an amount attached to that particular MacBook that you want to buy. Let's just say that in this instance, you can actually afford to buy that MacBook by that time, right? Especially when you save and invest, like you had said. So yes, it is measurable, achievable, realistic, and there's a timeline to it, right? You said July 30th 2024, so that is a SMART financial goal. Let's not forget that. So next up, we'll now be talking about budgeting. A budget is the backbone for financial planning. Yes, I'll say that 100 times. So you need to create a budget, and in creating your budget, you need to know your expenses. That's the first thing that you need to know. You need to know what you are spending on a daily basis. You need to know what you are spending on a monthly basis. You should be able to track your expenses. The question that you should be able to answer when you are waking from sleep is, where is your money going to? Yes, where is your money going to? So know where you are spending on, in terms of essentials, housing, food, utilities, or non-essentials like discretionary expenses like entertainment, dining. No, and cut unnecessary expenses out. Set a budget for all these expenses, as well as your savings and investment. You need to prioritize your saving and investment on a monthly basis and cut unnecessary expenses for the month. So there's a caveat to this budget setting of thing, and that is the fact that you need to set aside funds for enjoyment. Actually, you didn't hear wrongly. You need to set money aside for enjoyment. Yes, because when you feel deprived, the common practice is, it's psychology. You would actually end up not sticking to your budget. So a way to stick to your budget, yeah, I'm actually giving you a tip already. A way to stick to your budget is to set aside money for enjoyment. So you are not deprived of your money. You still have control over your money. You just decide that, oh, this is the cap that I'm giving towards enjoyment. So you should do that. Now, still discussing financial planning, you need to take into cognizance the need to have an emergency fund. life can be full of emergencies and you need to be ready financially, right? So you need to set aside an amount for your emergency fund. The regular practice is to set aside a 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So this emergency fund is not meant to be in your regular account. It needs to be in a special account, a special account that is set aside for emergency purpose only. And the best practice really is not to leave it in a bank account, for example. You need to put in an account that will yield in interest, but you have to take note that it should be in an account that you can access almost immediately, right? You don't want to be stuck. You have a fund but you can't access it. No, it's an emergency fund, so you need to be able to access it immediately, but at the same time you should be able to earn interest on that. Another thing that you should consider in your financial planning is your debt management. It will be something that you should be strategic about. For example, you can actually focus on paying off higher interest, debt before you then consider debt with lower interest rates. So you need to consider that in your financial planning. How do you intend to pay off your debts? The next thing is retirement planning. You must have heard me mention this in my previous video. You need to actually plan your retirement. Retirement is not exactly really far, so you need to plan it. And the earlier you start saving and investing towards your retirement, the better for you, because you can take advantage of compound interest. There's what we call compound interest in finance. When you start saving and investing now, you're better off to someone that is starting to invest in 10 years time, so you can take advantage of compound investing. So really start your retirement planning now. Still discussing financial planning, another thing you should take note of is investing. You should actively invest. And when it comes to investment, there's a popular saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Essentially, it simply means diversify your investments, spread them across different asset classes. Don't just invest in one type of asset class. You can choose to invest in stocks, you can choose to invest in bonds, real estate, there's currency, there's cryptocurrency, and so on and so forth. So you can invest across different asset classes. There's even commodities. So there are a lot of options out there. One golden rule is that you need to take note of your risk tolerance. There are a lot of different investors out there. There are some with a very low appetite to risk. There are some with a middle, like an average appetite to risk, and there are some they have a very high appetite to risk. So you need to know your kind of investor, who you are in terms of your appetite, and invest accordingly. In other words, don't follow trend. There's also insurance coverage. You need to protect yourself and your loved ones. You should have insurance plan, health insurance, car insurance, all different types of insurance. There are different types of insurance out there. Review them. Which one do you think is needed? You should have funds set aside for insurance payments as well. Now, the very next thing that we are talking about, it's a very delicate subject, estate planning. But to be honest, it's something that we really need to talk more about often, especially in this part of the world, in Africa, right? We actually need to plan for the long term, right? So there's what we call will and trust. You should have a will, especially if you're a family person, right? You should have a will and trust. You should have your assets distributed as per your wish. So you can set aside a trust fund for your loved ones as well. There's another thing that we call power of attorney. There should be someone that should make financial decision on your behalf when you're unable to. Yeah, this topic might be sensitive to talk about, but it should be something that you plan. Finally, review and adjust. Financial planning is not static. There should be regular check-ins. You need to review your progress and adjust your plan when needed. I mean, there are different life changes. There's marriage, there are kids, there's career shifts, for example. So different major life decisions that would definitely affect your financial goals. So do a regular review and adjust your plan accordingly. Remember, financial planning is a journey, not a destination. So you need to start today and stay disciplined. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe if you are yet to, please, and then I'll see you in my next video.